All right, party people, we back at it again for our third stream or no stream. And this is from one of our young guns, one of our young kings, G Herbo, and his project, the Big Swerv. So I'm gonna let Malcolm anchor this one and let Kev get in the middle on this one. I'm gonna get out the way real quick because let me just start off by saying this ain't for me. Uh, I have had a love-hate relationship with the New York time or drill rappers. They'll correct me on that. Lil Durk has pulled me back in that he's doing something that's has growth in it. Uh, Chief Keef, I'm still disappointed in him. Of all the growth he's had in his personal life, for him to still be making music specifically for the denigration of black men, it just is, it's not for me. It's just not the move for me. So I will say this about Herbo's project. I think he made attempts, and I'll go back and listen to it again. I listened to it twice. It's 14 tracks, 41 minutes, which is not bad. It's not bad. I just, again, the repetitive drill beats is just, it's just, it's not for me. It's just not for me. I don't like leaving an album feeling down. You know, I need something to feed my spirit, and he had some ones that were definitely uh, in that vein, but I don't know how far I would say he went to feed me. So let's just start by this saying that the No Picks track, it was a very good story for the verse, you know, and then he went straight into a heavy bragging on the next verse. So that was interesting. And then the track with and then sorry, Chief Keef on that same track. It just, again, it's just him doing the same old. And I don't know. Again, guys, I don't know. You're always going to hear me talk about growth, and I don't know how people can continue to rap about the streets that they not in for as long as they have. G Herbo and Chief Keef have been around a while now. I'm not, not a super long time, but they've been out around enough time now, and they put out enough tracks and enough albums, enough content, and they're multi-millionaires, and they brag about it in their songs. But does it have to be heavy drill as far as the denigration of black men, shooting, killing, drugs? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm just saying he had some shining moments on there. The No Pass with Rob 49, that's gangster redemption. That's what Ice-T used to do. That's what Spice One used to do. They would tell stories where, guess what? The reality of being a street dude is death, jail, or this insane asylum. But you don't hear those stories nowadays. For some reason, everybody think that everybody is free, and I can assure you that's not true. The life expectancy of a real dope dealer, you can get 7 to 8 good years at the max. Outside of that, you're gonna die because somebody wants your spot. You're gonna go crazy because you're so paranoid, or you going to the penitentiary. That's just how it works out. I don't know anyone who has had a long life. I mean, you guys talk about Big Meech. Big Meech had an 8-year run, maxed out. And he's in prison. Been in prison longer than he had those hot years. So, and I'm not talking about he wasn't in the street for many years, but as far as him being the kingpin, making moves, being a shot caller, he had 8 years. That was it. Then Yup. That was for bragging rap. What I like about bragging rap is when you make it interesting and your double entendres or your punchlines have a bit of humor to them. Uh, um, this kind of dorky humor, and I think that he did that on Yup. It was it was a good brag vibe. So for me, that those are the only shining lights out of the 14 tracks for me. I will say that he did have. I was surprised when I looked at his production list because he did have some really good producers in there. And this is what I'll say. we just had the LL Cool J project where um, there were multiple. There was only one producer. Then we've had the G. Then we had the Big Sean, and now G Herbo with multiple producers. And as I'm looking at the list here again, forgive me guys for not having a youthful memory. Um, I'm just looking here, and almost every track there's a different producer. What bothers me is that those producers still made something that was so similar as far as beat pattern, as far as BPMs, that it just didn't make it pleasant for me. All right. And with that, we're going to move on to our man, Kev, in the building. Kev, your thoughts on G Herbo's project, Big Swerve?
Look at it. There will be no Chief Keef slander tonight. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I hate to sound like I'm agreeing with you on this. I will say, I expected something more. It felt very familiar listening to a lot of stuff. I was thinking about that, and I was like, if you sit there, like we sitting here, we're saying this, and people be like, "But what do you want? What do you want?" And just like you said, Lil Durk changed up a lot of his content, a lot of his formula, and he went out there and won a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? He had success from doing something different. And that's what I was hoping to get that from G Herbo. Like he was just talking about, yeah, I sent this money to this, my friend that's locked up and I'm still in the street. I'm like, you're literally you're a celebrity. Like, you know, let's say you make 800,000 or $1 million a year or something. You're in a different tax bracket. You're a celebrity. You're not that guy that used to be in the projects. You don't live in the projects no more. You don't drive no, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going down to the corner and negotiating the sale of a used Honda Accord. Are you gonna pay $1,200 or $1,500 for it? Like you're not that guy anymore. And I can understand that some of your friends back home or some of your audience might be these people, but it's not you anymore. And it's kind of like, it'd have been nice to hear him do a song a day in his life, which I know is probably him dropping his kids off at a private school and, having a business meeting or something. It would have been nice to hear something totally different outside of the norm. And maybe it's just because it's my ears are not I'm not at that point that I can see growth in him if there is any. But I did expect something different. And I hate to compare him to Little Dirk, but when I look at Little Dirk, what he was willing to do to get to the point he is now, I don't think that that's too much to ask for from G Herbo to do the same. Like, we're not saying he has to make these fairy tale pop records, but he could do just change it just a little bit. It don't have to be all these street records. But I mean, if that's what he want to do, then it's fine by me. I just I would have liked just to see something just a little different though. Yeah, and and I get what you're saying about the Chief Keef stuff, but I like Chief Keef's last album. I'll be totally honest. I really don't know what he was talking about on it, but I mean, it was so upbeat. It was very upbeat, very up tempo. It was something that I could wake up to in the morning. Something that I could get going and kind of get me going to work. I'm so hyped and I'm eager and I'm ready to go. And that's what I love about Chief Keef. I'll be honest, I really don't listen to Chief Keef lyrics. It's been a long time since I really listened to his lyrics. His beats are just like so boom, 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 boom. I love stuff like that in the morning for me. So that's why I threw out there about the Chief Keef. He had the Sexy Red feature. I did like that. Um, he had another feature I liked, but I mean, just overall, it's just I mean, what's next? Like, what's next? It's just I think he could switch it up just a little bit, and I don't think his audience will either fade away or really have a problem. But I don't know what's next for him though. Like, I think this is the album he could have made the adjustments on, but I don't know what he does next.
Yeah, man. Let me just jump in real quick before we let Malcolm anchor this one and just say, looking at YouTube, and I thought this because actually I like Skilla Baby. The track that is the most streamed right now is "Shot." Or shoot, sorry, shoot, and that's with featuring Skilla Baby, and I think that's because Skilla Baby carried that joint. Outside of that one, the only other one that had some heavy listening or streaming was the No Picks joint. And now, again, I call that one out. Again, it's a good story and nice braggadocious part about it. So just wanted to throw that out there before we pass it off to our youngest in charge and let him anchor on this one. Malcolm, your thoughts on G Herbo's project, Big Swerv?
I enjoyed some of it. Was not the biggest fan of the project. I think that he wasted a few features on the quality of the quality of the song. What I mean by that is the quality of the song could have been better with some of the people that he's had featured on his newest album. Skill Baby, I'm not the biggest fan, but he's gonna give you like a average or above average every time he's featured on a song. Or I feel like any of his music is just strictly average. G Herbo with this new project, it made me think back about Strictly for My Fans, which came out in 2016. And I haven't really heard anything progressive when you talk about the quality of his music since that album and PTSD, in my opinion. So when I heard this, I initially heard this when I was with a friend of mine in the car, and I was just confused because it sounded like I wasn't in the 2024, the year of 2024. It felt like I was in like 2018 when I was listening to the song that I was doing. I can't remember what it was, but I had asked, I was like, is this, before I even was able to finish my question, he was like, yeah, this is the new G Herbo, my friend had told me. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just was taking it all in and wasn't too excited from hearing this project. Chief Keef, that feature, I feel like was wasted. It was more about them being able to get on a song recently together. Um, I did not like the Rob for Nine song. That uh, I just maybe it maybe is a combination for me of why I didn't enjoy it the most was his production and then his like cadence or energy when he gets on the songs. He still seems like he's using music like he's not a mainstream artist right now. Creativity, the quality of music, it doesn't have to sound like I've heard it before, and that's what this album gave me. Splat, that song was not too. I did not like that song that much. I did enjoy the Candyman song of that album, possibly because I thought it was better production. But for him, he's the type of artist where if his production isn't making him rap differently based off of how the song is engineered, produced, then he's going to give you the drill type street memoir type of bars. And I disengage after a certain period of time after hearing what he has to say because he reminds me of Meek Mills. Both are, mainstream artists, but they still make the same type of music. And if it's going to be something different, it'll be 1 to 2 songs. If they're generous, 3 songs that will sound like they could play on the radio. side of it being the traditional, like, drill themed, type of song. He did talk about some different things. The quality of what he was saying was it differed on some of the songs, but overall, I didn't enjoy it that much. Could have did better.
All right, that's what's up. Appreciate you on that. I just want to give a couple of quick notes on some of the streams and just say that for Malcolm that one of the ones he picked that he enjoyed, and that was Candyman. That was his second highest streamed at 381,000 on YouTube. I did not check the other platforms, but it was a lot of streams on YouTube for that project. And sadly, on the what is it, the Sexy Red 10, 10 37,000. 37,000. I really thought that was it seemed a little low. What do you guys think? It seems a little low for Sexy Red, as hot as she is right now. Anybody?
Uh not surprised. Not surprised. It's just like you said, even though you say she's, she's being talked about constantly, it's still, it's not all positive. It's not all positive. And I think G Herbo Sexy Red collabo can seem forced outside of seeming so unnatural. Um that's why what her and Chief Keef had did something together and it didn't seem right. You know what I mean? It just felt unnatural.
Mhm.
Um I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to say with G Herbo. I think his fan base is going to ride with him and they're going to support him and they're going to do things like, like if you look at iTunes, which is like, I guess iTunes is getting up there. I mean, Apple Music is getting up there with Billboard as far as like albums go, but
Mhm.
um truth be told, Spotify is actually the king because uh we really, I mean, people don't listen to albums anymore. It's hard to really listen to albums because I mean, like we talked about the Big Sean being an hour plus, and um so many artists, you could do a 10-song album, and to be honest, you lucky if you like 5 songs off of it. Like, we've been sitting here talking about all these albums, and even though you might like the whole album, you guys, you picked off 3-4 songs per album. I mean, that's Spotify. You know what I'm saying? That's the number Spotify is going to track. What are you actually listening to? You can say I love this album, but you ain't listening to all the songs. Like after about a good week, maybe 2 weeks, you're taking songs off these albums and you putting them on playlists or something, and you're not really listening to the album anymore. That's why a lot of times me and you we talk and we're like, it's all right, or I don't really want to say too much, or we just throw in replay value. How much replay value does it have? So I mean, if you're out like you just said about Eminem, you was like, it's surprisingly Eminem album is still tracking well, and you said that's his fan base, and that is his fan base because you really haven't heard a lot. I mean, it was a little buzz lead up to the album, but it wasn't nothing after that. And I think G Herbo is just, he's not he's a known rapper, but he's not like a big rapper. Even if you put him in today's generation, he's not even top. I don't think he's top 10 among rappers under 40
Yeah, but don't you think he's top 5 for drill rappers out of Chicago?
all time or today.
I mean, active, active.
I mean, but is I don't even think drill is even like a active genre in rap right now.
I mean, you just got 3 drill rappers dropping albums this year:
Who
Chief Keef, Polo G, and now G Herbo.
is Polo G really considered drill?
I have to default to Malcolm. So Malcolm, you're saying Polo G is not drill?
He'll make songs that are tributes to the sound that they, usually make music like in Chicago, but I think that's why he's able to stand alone. When you talk about Chicago artists, he made sure that his songs were more catchy, the ones that are trending, instead of the trending songs being the drill or trap type of songs.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
mean, I
that.
don't. I mean, like even trap. Like I don't really think it's that. I don't even really think it's a lot of trap music per se still out there. Drill is not a big thing anymore.
When they make
Um,
a Spotify, sorry to cut you off, when they make a Spotify playlist or playlist that are titled trap playlist or trap mix or drill mix, and then you go on that list, you see five different American artists, and then you see artists that you don't know, and then you see some UK or global artists on those mixes. I feel like they're making a space for it to be a genre, even though we all know that it's a subset of what hip hop is. But
right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so rap is so diverse, and we talk so much about should it have more categories? Like you even said it. The singing rap should be a category, and now we're talking about adding a senior section to rap, and you know drill is kind of like phased out a little bit, but should drill come back? Should trap come back? Should all these other sounds should they really come back? To kind of make it different, or should they kind of blend in together? Because when everyone had their own sound, I think more artists were able to get some shine. But when everybody does everything, it oversaturated. Just like what Malcolm said, like when you can look at these playlists, there are non-Chicago artists in the in the drill section. There are non-Atlanta artists in the trap section. Oh, we have no idea what gangster rap looks like, even if it's still gangster rap in 2024. I mean,
they don't really do drill. It's more like if it's any type of street gangster stuff that'll be out there. I feel like.
right. I mean, but it was like when LA really first got popping, they gave it that gangster label because they talked a lot about the Bloods and the Crips stuff. But with New York, it was hardcore because it was just harder, it had a harder edge to it. But as gangster rap got more popular, hardcore faded away, and it just became if you talked about some street stuff, it was considered gangster rap. And I mean, like the really it was so hard to make it different because like a Coogee rap, Coogee rap talked about mobsters. And they was like, well, the mobsters were in gangs, so I guess they should be that should be gangsters too. But it's too much. It's just too much. And it's just like, I like regional rap. And I don't know. I just don't know what to say about G Herbo. For him to survive this long, I think is incredible. But what's like I said earlier, what's next for him?
Yeah, I'm totally with you guys on that. I appreciate y'all input on that. And we're gonna get down to it. I know it's taking me a minute. Let me switch the screen real quick. And here we go. Stream or no stream. And the old man will get out the way and just say that unfortunately, uh, I can't stream it. It's just not a stream for me. I hope that you're able to curate your playlist by maybe listening to one of his songs, but in general, this album is not to be streamed. Kev, stream or no stream for G Herbo's project, uh, the Big Swerve.
I think it's an album that most of his fans will enjoy, but at the same time, for me, I'm saying no.
All right, that's two no streams, and we're gonna let the youngest in charge give his anchor. Malcolm, stream or no stream on G Herbo's project, Big Swerve.
Not streaming.
Oh wow. Oh. Let me stop. Let me stop. And with that, we get a right. So it is what it is. We appreciate you guys so much for checking us out on that one. And that's our streamer no stream of G Herbo's project, Big Swerv. We're back at you, and we're just gonna, do our outros on this one, and just tell you, please tell a friend to tell a friend. Check us out on all social media platforms at Mixera Rap, and we'll let our old host, new guest, give his outro. Malcolm, where can they follow you, or you got any last words for the people?
Last words. Hope everyone is, safe and well for the rest of this week. It was a pleasure being here today to have a conversation about the music that we enjoy to listen to. And, God bless.
All right, that's what's up. Kev, take us out.
Hey, it's a pleasure again. Even though we had our mixed reviews on these albums, we got to really appreciate and give credit to these artists still putting music out, because it's so hard to actually get new music. Our opinions are our opinions, and they might change over time, but we still gonna get an artist some love. And we thank you all for listening. And go ahead, close us out, man.
All right, let me. You know what? We forgot, gentlemen, and usually Kev gets me on this because he's up on things. I just want to say, rest in power to Batman Scoop. Rest in power to your rich homie Quan. And there's one other young rapper we lost. Let me please find him. Please give me a quick second. What is his name? We lost. This has been a tough year for hip hop people. I just want to say it's been a real tough year. Rich Homie Quan, and then the other young man. Oh man, what's the other young man's name? He's a young up and coming rapper. Here he is. Uh, Beat King. So rest in power to Beat King, Fat Man Scoop, and Rich Homie Quan. Please play for their family, and that they'll be able to make it through the strength of our Creator to continue without these strong kings not being on the planet. And with that, just want to say, you know what time it is. We out of here. Peace.